So I wrote, and I'll read this to you, it's part of it. I said I had my device for 2 months. Anxiety has been replaced with calm, reluctance with motivation, procrastination with promptness, impatience with patience, and sadness with joy. And at this time, I wrote that I've lost 21 pounds in the last 3 months, but now it's been 10 months and I've lost 51.
Hey, Linda, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Good to see you again, Tracy.
You
looking
too.
forward to this.
You're so cute. So what is new and good with you, my dear?
Well, I guess more than I realized, because, you know, the reason we're having this interview is because David found something I posted on Telegram and reminded me of it. And when he did, I said, gosh, that's been so long ago, I don't remember the details. So please send me what I wrote. So he sent me this paragraph that I've got in front of me now. And I thought, gosh, I have forgotten some of this, but I've got it in front of me. So I know what we're talking about.
That's awesome. So share. I can't wait to hear.
So basically, and I think I know I posted this on Telegram last year sometime, but I don't have the month. And it basically says I had the white device for 2 months. So yeah, that was sometime last year. And I just talked about how much this the white device has affected me mentally. I was very much aware and had used the black devices for pain relief on a number of occasions, very successfully. But I was not prepared, and I was definitely surprised that it affected me mentally, emotionally, as much as it has. I've had depression all my adult life, and it's just virtually gone completely. So I wrote, and I'll read this to you, it's part of it. I said I had my device for 2 months. Anxiety has been replaced with calm, reluctance with motivation, procrastination with promptness, impatience with patience, and sadness with joy. The black devices worked well with aches and pains. The white device is working on the mental and emotional. And at this time, I wrote that I've lost 21 pounds in the last 3 months, but now it's been 10 months and I've lost 51.
Bravo.
And let's see, it said I lost in the last 3 months due to the decreased appetite and cravings, but it still works on pains as well. This is the part David was asking about. I received a rather bad steam burn cooking yesterday. The ointment I normally use did not do as well as it usually does. The pain was getting worse to the point that I considered taking something for it. Then I remembered the times that I've used 2 black devices to sandwich a pain between them for complete relief of headaches, bursitis, and carpal tunnel. I secured the white device with an ace bandage to my wrist over the burn. After 45 minutes, the pain was completely gone. Frequency is everything. Thank you, QHS.
Nice. Wow, that is a testimony. I know I've burnt myself on the oven before. It's not fun.
Well, not only did the pain go away in 45 minutes, but it never peeled. I never had any sign that a burn had been there. So it didn't just stop the pain. It did the healing right then in 45 minutes.
That's incredible.
I've used it on burns before also, but I've never had it do that before.
Interesting. And you know what you said about losing the weight? I'm guessing that because it gave you a mood lift, you probably didn't need food for mood.
Well, that was part of it. Yes, I definitely had a problem with sugar and boredom eating. But I think, let's see, my husband has the white device also, and he was overweight also, and he's lost 74 pounds. I think it's, and I've seen some other members say this, I think it's a matter of the device is decreasing appetite and cravings, and it's also affecting the kind of food you want to eat. It's just I don't know how to explain all of it. It's more than one thing going on, though, I know that. And because it's just a complete reversal of lifestyle in the way that we have grown to look at food. and the way our body needs. In fact, it's surprising to both of us how little food compared to what we used to eat that the body requires and can get by with and still have adequate energy on all levels. It's just amazing.
That's awesome. Well, that hasn't happened to me yet, but there's always hope.
Well, we did start a particular diet that worked well, and we've stayed on it. Let's see, we're 10 and a half months now. We started last September. And we're both out of the obese stage. Now we're working on the overweight stage.
Nice. What are you eating?
What are we eating? Well, it's the particular diet is actually one that consists of 3 meals a day with 2 protein servings, 1 carbohydrate serving, and 2 vegetable servings, although you don't have to do vegetables at breakfast, and 1 serving of healthy fats.
Nice.
And then the portion sizes are discussed as well.
Cool.
But we cannot physically hold. We have not had any surgery like gastric bypass or anything like that, but we can physically hold only about 1/3 of the amount of food that we used to consume. It's just plain uncomfortable, and you don't want it beyond that.
It sounds like your stomach shrunk.
I think it has, yeah. Yeah, it has.
Awesome. And how are you feeling when it comes to the peace and your mood and all of that right now?
That has been remarkable also. My husband's also dealt with depression, and mine is completely gone. His is very close to that, but not quite there yet. And what better time in our lives could we have needed and enjoyed recognizing that and having that blessing? I mean, if there not been more, I don't know that there's ever been a time in my life when there's been more things to be depressed about as in the last 4 years. So I would say that came in the nick of time.
That's awesome. Well, I feel like we're nearly there, my friend.
Yeah, I think so too. I did have it seems like I have some experience with the devices. I have 2 white devices now. Seems like I have a new experience almost every day. Yesterday afternoon, my lower back started hurting. Now I got the rebounder that you suggested, and I use the rebounder regularly. And I find that as long as I use that at least 5 or 10 minutes a day, I don't have any problem with my lower back. But I didn't use it for a couple of days, and yesterday I had that problem. And I put 2 devices in a stash bands on my back and wore it for about 2 hours. And the pain was completely gone, has not returned. It's just amazing what it can do with pain. My husband had an incident in his shop a few weeks ago, and a metal device that he was using got jammed, and it backed up and hit him in the face right here. And it was such a large, round area, swollen, that it literally looked like a golf ball underneath the skin. And I took the white device and I attached it with an ace bandage to that area. And he kept it there for about 2 hours. And when we took it down, because the device, your face is not flat, it's rounded. The device touched it in one area, but not completely. So the area that it did touch it in was completely flat. So we moved it to the other area and put it up there for another couple of hours. And he did get a little bit of a black eye from the incident underneath the eye, but he had no bruise where the device was. And I mean, it was a really bad wound. And he has, I would say, evidence of it was completely gone in a couple of days, except for the little black eye under here.
Wow. So it took all that swelling down.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if we're lucky or if we're just we just have something about us that we relate well with these kind of frequencies. I can't tell what's going on, because we have friends who have the devices, and of course I watch the calls and I read Telegram, and I see other people having successes, but I'm starting to wonder if we haven't had more than most people for some reason. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Maybe it has to do with your openness, you know? some people don't have that openness. I feel like, everything's quantum and everything is frequency. And so if you're in this flow of frequency, you're attracting all these things that you want, right? But when you are paddling upstream and you're in a not flow state, you're in like a clenched state and a fight state, then you're closing off everything that you want to bring in.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And I think what you're saying in a different way from what I feel is that I feel like personally that people have to have faith in whatever method of healing they choose. And, most of my friends and family and acquaintances, they have faith in the pill and the surgery. And that's what they put their faith in. So that's going to work for them. I am personally allergic to just about every antibiotic on the planet. And my faith is not there. Maybe that's why I'm allergic to it. I don't know. But I think you do have to have, I think you have to want to believe in things.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be open to it. And you have to be a noticer. That's my new favorite word, because we have to notice
That's true.
things inside of ourselves as well as things going on out here.
Right.
And, I find that some people, they're so stuck in their head that they're not here in their life, you know?
Right.
So it's like, get out of your head and get into your life. Be here now,
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that could be it too. And trust me, I'm surrounded by that as well. Believe it or not.
Yeah. I think some people don't believe they're worthy to be healed. I really do. I have relatives that I have felt like that way for years, that they think, oh yeah, it can work for somebody else, but not for me. They don't say it that way. That's just the mindset they seem to have about trying new things sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think some people are stuck in their story. Like when I used to be a runner, I identified as a runner and that's who I was. And when I couldn't run anymore, I was like, I was lost. I was like, who am I? Like, what am I? So I had to find a new path. And I think like I have a friend who she just always complains about everything, everything. Her husband's lovely and she complains about him all the time. And she's always, she has lymphoma and they can't treat it. And Dr. Gloria did a class, months ago about lymphoma. And I've tried to teach her all these tricks and she won't try anything. So it's like, to me, that just says, well, she just must like being in this position, because it gives her something to complain about. I don't
Well,
know.
I had a relative who I got the feeling she didn't say these exact words, but I really got the feeling that if she didn't have her ailments to talk about, she did not know what she would talk about. And she did not know how she could exist without that, because that was her life. That was her version of being a runner. That was her style. And she was totally encompassed by that all the time. And she didn't know what she would do if she didn't have that pill to talk about and that pain to talk about.
Yeah.
It's sad, but
It's funny. My mother-in-law is 90 and she says that all the old ladies at her ladies club, that's all they talk about is what you just said.
right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everybody has to have something. I guess that's what they've had so long, they can't relate to having something else.
Yeah. So, my dear Linda, what would you like to say in closing today?
Well, when we had our first interview, you asked me about my goal that I had, and I mentioned that I would like to lose weight, and I mentioned that I would like to lose a couple of dress sizes. Now, when I said that, I can almost hear myself saying it back then, because when I said it, I'm pretty sure I said it in a tone that I really didn't believe it could happen. That was my mindset back then. I wanted to believe, and I had a little bit of faith, but that was about it. Well, I've lost 50 pounds now, and I'm down 3 dress sizes instead of 2. And I'm very much a believer. And I'm also recognizing that I think my mindset on the device is, if you will wear this device as much as you can. I mean, I'm wearing it 24/7, so is my husband. And wear it as long as you can. And don't expect something to happen when you want it to happen. I think it's pretty much possible that it can fix just about anything that's wrong with anyone. I really do.
Awesome. I agree. It's all of the layers of our onion are different. And so we just have to get through each layer.
When I read this paragraph I read to you, I thought to myself, gosh, what do I need a QR for? This thing is fixing everything that I was concerned about, except the wrinkles. Now, I thought if you lost weight slowly enough, you didn't have to worry about the wrinkles, but I'm wrong because evidently, if your skin is old enough and has lost some elasticity, then it could still be that you lose it slowly and you still have to deal with wrinkles. But so maybe I do still need to look forward to that QR.
Are you still doing do you do collagen?
I tried that and it led to some irregularity problems for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Bone broth has collagen in it. Maybe that would help you. And actually, it really helps with healing your gut. I used to have a client that had severe diverticulitis. And when she would get an attack, I told her to take bone broth and it would soothe things over so much faster than before.
Right. Do you think bone broth, the collagen in bone broth, would be a long-term help for wrinkles, or do you think you see some results relatively soon, or do you know?
I don't know, but I just know that it's a very natural form of collagen because it's not processed. You can make your own bone broth,
Right.
with a chicken carcass or two.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do, not always, but what I do when I cook chicken is I'll roast a chicken and then I'll take off all the meat to use like in salads or whatever and just eat it plain. And then I'll take the carcasses and throw it in the crock pot and make bone broth.
Okay. All right, I'll look into that.
Yeah, it's actually really delicious. So
Good.
it's not the season for it right now, but I mean, who knows, it might help. But yeah, I'm with you. I want the QR for wrinkles too. Let's face it. And other things that need lifting.
Right.
So, all right, my dear. Well, thank you so much, Linda, for coming back. I look forward to seeing you next time, and maybe it will be for the do-over.
Hope so, dear. Hope so.
Okay, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy.
Have a beautiful day. Okay.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.